Alright, folks, let's get to the business here. So, we're looking at Andrew Yang over here, and I'm going to actually share. I actually got a call back from their New York interim lead. Now, the thing is that Fulton was actually the New York coordinator. I believe that he was recognized somehow towards the end of his run. I think Fulton did a great job. It was not controversial at all. I don't recall there being a single problem. Now, would he be put into Fulton was actually Chinese American. He's from New York City. He's actually, went to Stuyvesant, I believe. Very qualified. So, what happens with, would he be possibly appointed to interim director for the Forward Party? Don't know, but no. Actually, it's this guy, Michael Costa. I just heard from him. But we'll have to see about that in a moment, right? Let's go and check out the actual staff over here. I was actually part of the Yang Gang pretty deep, so I can talk about some of the things going on there. So we're going to take a look at that screen in a moment, right? So let's go and pop off over to that. So here we go. Yeah. Okay. So now you could see we got Andrew Yang, the founder, over here, right? And then we could see that we have, I'll move myself up to, I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so here we have Matt over here, Matt Shiners, okay? Where are you from anyways? He's from New Jersey. Okay. For some reason, Andrew Yang or Erica McLeod before was also kind of like a high-ranking person before. She was also from New Jersey. We don't see anybody from New York, interesting enough. Let's see what else is also interesting. Well, the fact of the matter is that we don't see anybody from New York, like at the top position here, except for this lady, Laura DelSalvio. We're gonna Del Savio. We'll get over here now. Blair Walsingham is actually very interesting, though, right? She actually ran for Congress. Her political awakening was through Yang. If there's anybody who's kind of like from the ground from the first time, it would be Blair Walsingham. She was part of the Yang Gang community in a big way. You'll see her doing a lot of stuff. In fact, let's look at this Matt Shiners character once again, right? What makes him be the interim executive director? Okay, so over here we can see that education and tech. He's there he served as policy director, communications director, and chief of staff. Okay, chief of staff. He actually softballed. That means that he may have been involved with the whole NDA crap. When people signed up to be part of Yang's team, is this guy going to stand the line, or is he going to be a yes man? Does he have anything intelligent to say, or is he going to be a yes man? I could tell you that things behind the scenes in Yang's 2020 presidential campaign were not that smooth. There's a lot of information that's being suppressed out there, such as the sexual harassment allegation made by Andrea, aka Woman Warrior. There was NDAs that I told them from the get were problematic. Evidence that exists on my Twitter, actually. Let me see if I can bring that up on the screen here, okay? Let's see. Okay, so, yeah. Well, that's her, it's been a long time since I've been on Twitter, actually. I'm actually not allowed on Twitter right now, so I just kind of stopped. There's just no, right? It's suppressed. You can't really find it there. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, let's take a look now. Woman warrior for Yang, I think. Yeah, warrior woman for Yang. Why are former Yang staffers so afraid of him? There are flaws everywhere. Yang was angry. Salaries upwards of $10,000 a month. Okay, this all happened, right? Technically under there's a lot of people who are missing. Erica McLeod is definitely a high-profile person who's missing right now. Let's go and look at Erica McLeod and see who that is, right? But let me see if I can find something about the NDA problems, right? A lot of people they don't want the ground to be talking about these things. They just want it to just go away, and they want to just continue to cycle in a new era of victims. Stop letting these people get away with that crap, okay? People who are in the People's Party and UPA, you know what I'm talking about right now, right? You also were unfortunately misled and led down this pathway where you didn't pay attention to people on the ground. This is also going on in Yang Gang. It's going on in all the spaces. Let's see what else. She has other posts. Let's go and look at her thing. She was actually quite, yeah, I do remember going back and forth with her quite a lot. Nobody really picked up her story at all. Don't count on it, yeah. Okay, I can only see so many tweets. She probably calmed down, right? A lot of people are convinced to do things that are just in the interests of power, often. And I'm afraid that, even though this lady, I believe, is a lawyer, how much fight did she have in her? Okay, she's being quite critical of the Ford Party. You can see already. She was actually one staffer, and it wasn't just her. There was also a guy named Andrew Laundrie. There was also another person named Brendan Carpenter, who actually started the largest Yang Gang group, Humanity Forward Yang Gang group in the nation, as Humanity Forward Arizona. Once again, none of the progressive YouTubers, even in the Yang world or in any place, are covering this story. Only me. Oh well. So the fact of the matter is that if we, let me see if I can find her talking about the NDAs. NDA. Okay. Now I gotta have to page down and find all this lady's tweets, right? It's just, I do have record of it somewhere. Okay. Let's see. That's from Feb 25. When was the election? Yeah, that would have been around that time. Look, anyways, you could look her up, right? There's actually also something in Business Insider that points to other problems in the campaign. Okay. Which former place says rife with, okay, whatever. Just rife with, they said internet bro culture, right? And actually, it would seem like that guy's also lined up with that as well. We didn't account for how much of male-dominated culture alienate female non-binary employees. I wish we had. Okay. Still, though, we could see that, who is this guy who has this job here? He was the chief of staff. Sounds like he didn't do a great job. Also, he was a supporter of third parties. You could fool me, because when the corporate campaign consultants swept into the Yang Gang, voices like mine who did powerful third work with third parties were suppressed. Yeah, so this guy's really, Matt, you're not impressing me at all. At all. Not at all, yeah? Matt? Okay. Basically, he oversaw a basic crap show. We take a look at over here. I bet Blair Wither has some credibility. We see the whole staff, it's completely whites, right? We know that there was people who were part of the Yang Gang, a lot of Asian Americans, right? In fact, Andrew Yang said helping Biden win could be an Asian American political awakening. Okay. If you want to believe that, right? Like that Andrew Yang gives a crap about Asian American issues, like somehow like this Biden thing, which is complete, right? That doesn't make any sense in the first place, right? If you're not black, then, if you're not, if you don't vote for Biden, you're not black. Like, as in terms of racial solidarity, Yang, it's just tone deaf. It's saying that voting for helping Biden win could be an Asian American political awakening. Get out of here with that crap. And then look at what you're doing with your own party right here. This guy had problems, right? Actually, Andrea, I believe, she may be, Asian or half Asian. HAPA, I think they call them, right? But, instead of bringing someone who before was willing to point out issues, right? You just brought back the yes people again, right? During all of this blow up between, like I told you about the NDAs, I warned you all about the NDAs before it became an issue, right? People who know that, who was in the Yang Gang, they know what I'm talking about. I told them this was the issue. I told them NDAs are not used for anything good. They're used to suppress information. I said it's really unnecessary, right? And I said, why? Just sign it. The bosses want it. Just sign it. Yeah, who knows better? Yeah, you or me, right? I've been doing this 25 years. Get out of here, man. And for when they ran the thing in New York, you could look it up, right? They had to get rid of the NDA program. All the Yang Gang knows this, They know this straight up, yeah. So, Yang actually had a lot of people, black people, helping on his campaign, Dave Chappelle, things like that, right? But he turned Dave Chappelle away because he was worried that it might be controversial or whatever, right? Yeah? Like, this guy's afraid of controversy. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a lot of balls right here. That's Yang. Yeah, you just gotta call it like it is, man. Okay. So, Blair, right, was quite loyal. I do not remember. She seemed pretty okay, but she's never gonna stand against the power, and that's why people, right? That's why you're doing the third party thing, right? Yeah, that's why you're lining up, because you're willing to say that there's some problems here, and we're gonna hold the system accountable. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, Lauren DeSalvio, right? Let's look her up, right? Senior communications strategist. She's been educated in public high schools, right? Very establishment kind of thing, right? Has she ever challenged educational institutional failures? She seems like she's going to really fit into corporate America real easy. Yeah? She lives in Connecticut, very wealthy, right? And she also worked as a campaign manager on Walsingham's congressional campaign, right? So she served on the end later at Humanity Forward. Ooh, okay. Humanity Forward, just so you know, it's quite confusing, right? There's this humanity, all this kind of humanity, this humanity. They use the word humanity like it was toilet paper. It's pretty sad. But Humanity Forward was Andrew Yang's select elite squad who didn't have to bother with talking to the lowly volunteers. So the fact that, and Humanity Forward covered up for a lot of crap, right? Like you could see like the sexual allegations, right? Yeah, and just anything that they had a very elitist attitude. So it was very troubling. And the fact that Laura DeSalvio was there as part of Humanity Forward, when I sent so many emails about like what happened to me that was criminal. Right now, a lot of people, the People's Party right now are the New York People's Party. They don't really understand why I'm asking them constantly, right? They just want to leave me a victim and just be like, oh, well, I wasn't part of it, so, it's too bad, right? Wrong. I was actually putting together strategic alliances between Yang Gang and also People's Party. Also the Tulsi community as well, which I also represent. And just because y'all are just not doing anything doesn't mean that things aren't happening, right? And it has cost me dearly in this world. Y'all know what happened to me was wrong, but you can't get lazy about it. And if I was a pretty lady like Blair Walsingham, I know like the world would have come to save me, but no one's coming to save me, no matter how much I suffer, what I go through. The staff is all white once again. Fundraiser, right? Yeah, okay. Does she look like she's very experienced? Or could she be convinced to do things that maybe, in the finance department, I would have people that have the most experience, right? The people that are more, Will Conway, okay. What did he do at the, as in terms of Yang Gang? Nation Builder, okay. So Nation Builder, that's actually a third-party software. This is Yang is buying with the money. He began with a Republican. He lives in Brooklyn with his girlfriend, right? Never saw him, had a single, right, Yang Gang, volunteer event. He's like a celebrity. He's like one of the people that's too good to work with the regular ground forces. Will Conway, I was deep in the Yang campaign. I was deep in there making calls on the ground with your people. They all know me, right? They don't know you. You're going to have a big flashy title. People are going to listen to you. They're not going to listen to me. Why? Because, honestly, I have a feeling you would straight sell out, right? You live in Brooklyn with your girlfriend, right, with cockroaches. Oh, so nice. Such a cool hipster ass dude, right? Why is there absolutely no Asian Americans in this whole entire fucking thing, right? Yeah? Forward, it's more of the fucking same, bro. You know what I mean? If anybody thought that Andrew Yang was going to be looking out for Asian people or Asian American people, once another Blair Walsingham, and they're from Virginia, by the way. Virginia's extremely rich. West Virginia is super poor, and Virginia is super rich. So basically, Walsingham's campaign walked in, right, with this person, and this person, and we could see that, there's very little voices of minority, poor people, or any real activists. It's people with cushy establishment jobs, right, working in big tech at Sprinkler, right, working for .coms and stuff. But as in terms of listening to the poor people, in terms of listening to minority voices or underrepresented voices, Yang represents wealth. He represents money and tech, and he does not represent the working class, and you can see it all over right here. Anyways, I got a call from there. I'm still gonna try to work with this community, right? Yeah, it's all the signs are really pointing in a fucking horrible direction. Who's there? Let me find the. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna get off here. Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of problems. Okay, let's go and switch over to here. Okay, let me find this guy's. Michael Costa is his name. I do think I know Acosta. Is he with New Leaf? Well, it's a little strange, right? I'm gonna call him one more time. We have. He called himself Da Vinci Decision. People love their Eurocentric references, right? Let's see if he picks up.
Michael Costa.
Hey Mike, how's it going? This is DJ Elf 7. I'm calling. I'm actually quite excited about joining the Forward Party.
Great, awesome. I didn't know what your name was because it had little abbreviations and things. So,
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty excited about you. I'm so pumped up. Unfortunately, I have to be pumped up because it'd be great if the system was working. That would be the best answer, but it's not working in my opinion.
I understand.
We all have different reasons for thinking that's probably true, but I'm pretty excited about it. So,
Hey Mike, can I ask you a quick question?
Tell me about yourself.
Mike,
Yeah.
I actually was involved with the Yang campaign here in New York. I don't remember you. Were you around or?
No, I wasn't part of the Yang campaign. And
Okay.
And this comes up in the call. Like most people in the campaign, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people were working for Andrew Yang,
Yeah.
including, but not everybody.
Right. Yeah, sure.
I
Okay.
get unsolicited.
So I mean, like, all right. So like, who? I'm still wondering who's still there from the, because I want to see all my old buddies again. Anyways.
Well,
Okay.
You're in the right spot.
All right.
Let me go back a bit. There's about 9 or 10 people that are on the payroll in headquarters. Headquarters being like a virtual headquarters.
Okay.
I'm not one of them, and everybody else here in New York State right now we're just volunteering.
Okay.
No expectations of being on the payroll.
Sure.
There are some people on the payroll that have worked with Andrew, and one of the reasons they got on the payroll is because Andrew knows them and knows them well.
Right.
Like Will Conway, who is our head organizer, a really good guy, working hard. So there's a lot of ex-Yang people. But
Yeah.
One person we had a. Go ahead.
Did Will do any work? Did Will do any work with the New York Yang Gang team or anything? Because I don't remember his name either.
I don't know. I don't think he's from New York originally. Now he's from Connecticut. Now
Okay.
he lives in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, okay.
I can't speak. I know there's a lot of people from the Yang gang, as you call it, that are involved now. But there's even a number of people like myself that are not part of the Yang gang, but are believers in this new party. Now, part of the reason I believe in the party, there's some other parties outside third parties, is because of Andrew Yang, because it's got some power and energy behind it. I get reached out by different third parties a lot, but this one seems to have a lot of energy and much more organization at a very young age. We're like maybe 4 months old, so
Okay.
pretty new.
Can I just ask you real quick? What, if you weren't with Yang before, what brought you to Yang now? Like, it just seems a little. I'm just, surprised a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
How about this one? This came up on a call where someone who was with Yang, we had our opening call like a week ago on February 27th. So maybe it's like a week and a half ago, something like that. And someone on the call raised the question of, hey, I voted for Yang in the presidential primary. He got like 5% or something like that, or did get 5%. I then voted for him for mayor, but he got crushed by Eric Adams. Why should I support Yang now? And luckily we had Will Conway on the phone, who was the guy I talked about. But we said, look, I'll speak for myself. I like Andrew Yang. I think he'd be a great leader. But if Andrew Yang tomorrow said, I'm not running for public office ever again.
Well, I guess what I'm really wondering is, right, like, why you, right? Yeah, why you,
Okay,
who didn't support Yang before, became interim director? Like, that just,
okay, well,
it's just, a little surprising.
They, one of the early meetings, like in,
Yeah.
I don't know how I got in the mail list, I'll say November, December, they're going through a list, and they don't have people, right? They're a brand new party.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how they got my email. And they said, we need some interim state leaders.
Really? Okay.
I just said, okay, you have anybody for New York? And they said, no. I go, okay, I'll put my hand up.
Have you ever done political
Okay,
consulting work before? Are you known in the political community somehow, or maybe they would contact you for that reason?
I am not known in the political community. The only thing I did was think about running for Congress a year ago, or it's about 2 years ago now, almost. And for reasons I can explain someday, if we get in person, I decided not in the 17th congressional district where I live.
Okay.
And that was a personal choice.
Don't you think it's a little bit weird that Yang had so many supporters, and right then the first person he finds for his interim director, like for New York, is someone with no experience and just not familiar with the campaign or the personnel? It just seems strange, honestly.
Well, it's honestly, so let me put it this way. It is strange. They're looking for people, and I don't know why they didn't reach out and contact you and other people, or how you didn't get an email.
Okay.
I'm an interim state lead. If someone comes to me tomorrow and goes, Mike, thanks a lot for stepping in. We have people that are, and by the way, there's more than one interim state lead, and we plan on having multiple state leads.
Okay.
So, for example, we need leadership in upstate New York and other places. So let's not, I don't, and I have told people, I'm not worried about this title or anything else, take it away, I don't care.
Okay.
There's different levels, we meet, because quite frankly, it takes time. I got to call you, I got to email people.
Right. Okay.
I'm more than willing to share that title and responsibility with anybody.
What do y'all need? What do y'all need help with? Do y'all need help with like ballot petitioning, or because I think you guys are an official recognized party now. I was quite involved with Yang Gang. I actually, I was very involved. So I know. Yeah. Just, what's going on? Yeah. I'm in Queens.
Where are you looking? Queens. Oh, Queens. Okay.
Yes.
So do you know Shane Monahan?
I sure do. I love that guy.
Okay. All right. Shane is like getting people lined up. He's got like 8 or 10 people already recruited. We're now going some meetings in New York City, because it's New York City, quite frankly,
Okay.
and start our first, campaigning thing. In fact, the email just came in. And I volunteered for New York State to do it, because I think New York City is like the perfect place to have people set up something on a corner and start handing out literature and things.
Are you just quick question? Are you currently outranking Shane?
No. Okay.
Are you guys about the same position right now?
No, I think I want to get clear on this.
Okay.
There's no ranking. There's no. It's not a command and control like a general to a colonel to a lieutenant. There's no outranking.
Okay.
There was no one there at all. They said, anybody want to volunteer to help lead the state? I put my hand up, and with Craig Gradelli, put my hand up.
Okay.
But we know we're going to have multiple leaders or multiple organizers, so it's not outranking at all. In fact, I called Shane, and we spoke on the phone, and
Oh, really?
I'm pretty pumped up. Yep. So
I'm
he's
pumped
the
up
guy.
too.
As far as I'm concerned, if tomorrow morning someone said, Mike, we want you to not use that word interim state leader because, I don't know, people don't like it, fine, I have no problem.
All right. Well,
I believe in the cause. You want to make the...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have to admit another thing. My name's Ed Lee. You ever heard the name before? No, right? Yeah, Ed Lee. You ever heard that name before?
I believe, I don't know, Ed Lee, go ahead.
Okay. So the thing is that I'm Asian American, and one of the things that I was really excited to join the campaign about was, right, that it was the first Asian American presidential, like it was a big like thing, right? Yeah. But on the staff, there's no one Asian American. Like, Shane is white. I like Shane, right? Yeah. I know he's got an Asian American wife, right, or something like that, right? Yeah. What happened to all the Asian American people? Like, why are they all missing? Like, it's not all about race identity for me, right? But it's just a marked contrast that all of a sudden, like, they got completely obliterated, and no, right? It's just there was a large Asian community here in New York, and it just seems very weird that all these changes.
Well, I'll tell you what, and
Yes.
And one thing that I've noticed is that I have a lot of, and I don't mean this in the traditional sense. You might say it sounds funny, but I have a lot of friends that are black, and I'm going to recruit them because I don't see any black people in this party so far.
Yikes.
And I know people that are black that agree with the principles of the system.
I could tell you right now, there's a group called Melanated Council of Yang, and actually they're my friends. Actually, I think Ronald Marzette, he actually served on the Humanity First Movement board, and so that's actually a great way to get back into that community. But I'm actually quite knowledgeable about this whole community, and I'm right. Anyways, so the thing is that have you guys endorsed any candidates? There's a candidate right now called Brian Mannix, who's claiming Forward Party, but I'm not really sure if he's been approved, right? Some states have like a state committee that has to approve these candidates, stuff like that. It sounds like it's very all up in the air. What candidates are you guys running with? Like who? Yeah. Okay.
Let me answer a couple of questions first. So if you're Asian American and you live in Queens,
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, Ed, there's more than one Asian American in Queens, and we don't know it's a big Asian American community in Queens.
Yeah.
Have we, not just you, have we approached them to say, are we sitting on their street corners going, this is what we're doing and why? Are you interested in learning about it or joining? And that's one of the ways to get into a community. Your second question is about candidates. So right now there's a procedure that you have to apply, not through me or anybody.
Before I feel comfortable asking Asian Americans to join, I want like a meaningful response about like why like there's a complete absence of Asian Americans like all around this guy. Like it just seems weird. But like I could just tell them to join and then change that, right? But when you think about where he started with and his support base in New York, like it just seems, honestly weird and questionable, and it's almost like it's disappointing.
Okay, so I'll come back to that.
Anyways, yeah, that's hey, look, that's not your decision, right? Yeah, but okay, I get that. Okay.
There's one candidate they're backing now for governor called Larry Sharp.
Yeah, I heard that they endorsed him. Yeah, actually, that's quite interesting. Yeah, so that's cool. So, but this Mannix character, you cannot confirm that he's actually in the Forward Party or not?
No, I've seen his name. I think he was on one of our calls.
Yeah.
But
He's quite enthusiastic.
There's two things. One, he has to apply to headquarters. There's a thing for candidate application.
Okay.
And somebody up the food chain, and maybe even including Yang himself, approves the candidate. Now we don't have an extensive platform right now. It's more like kind of us. We don't want to limit people, but you have to believe in ranked choice voting and trying to stop gerrymandering. That's kind of the key thing. If you believe in that, and some other philosophies that there's no thing you have to sign up for and agree with. I think. Let me tell you about myself. I'm 68 years old, and I've seen this movie before. And we keep waiting for some two-party broken system, and it doesn't seem to happen. So what I'm trying to do is be part of the process that helps people behind me, helps you.
Okay. I have to just re-ask a question from before. I'm so sorry about that. But okay, it sounds like you have some political experience, right? It's cool, right? Yeah, appreciate that. Before you weren't really supporting Yang, but now you are, right? Am I correct?
I'm supporting Yang, but I'm supporting this party.
Oh, so you're really attracted to the third party thing, and you're trying to promote that versus, right? It's like Yang's like, he's cool, right? I'll tell you, he has some good ideas, right? Yeah, but it's really more the third party thing that really attracts you to this space.
It's more the energized third party thing. There's a lot of third parties out there. I don't mean just libertarian or anything else. There's a moving called Service America Now, SAM.
Okay.
They've been doing this for a couple of years. There's been one before, but they have no energy. I've been on their call stuff. There's like no energy there. They're like hoping it happens. They don't want to work there.
Can I share something with you? Actually, just so you know, okay. I have my own website called dgl7.com. You could look it up. I'm actually an activist. I've been on the scene for 25 years. I'm very involved. I actually have an interview coming up with Larry Sharp tomorrow. So that's cool. So it's good to get a reference on that. So I am actually very, very politically active. I actually joined the Yang Gang and have you ever heard of something called the People's Party?
I think I've heard it, yeah.
Yeah, on Jimmy Dore, things like that. Okay. What do you know about it?
Not much.
Okay. So actually, I actually combined Yang Gang and the People's Party to march on Schumer's. We actually did that. We brought 10,000 signatures. I don't know if you also know Paige. She was also attending at that event. So was Linda and several other high-ranking Yang people. And that was a third-party move. Actually, there was a convention. There was a People's Party convention that was very highly attended by high-level Yang members. I was excluded because they were worried about a power differential. They worried that Yang Gang might be trying to take over the People's Party. I was trying to get them to work in synergy. And right now, actually, there's a whole bunch of different. There's the head of that group was someone named Nick Brana. Does that name sound familiar to you?
No.
Don't worry about that, yeah. But anyways, when he was in, he actually removed 5 generations of sub leadership, including Jonathan Martin, one of the few professors of third parties in the nation, myself, our Revolution LA director, Jerry Perez. There's actually a Mark Mixon now, the elected chair of Washington State. There's a whole parade. So what happened was these people are all together working now in something called United People's Assembly. We're actually a national coalition of different organizations, and I'm highly politically active. But the thing is that when the corporate campaign consultants came in, right, for Yang's campaign during the mayoralship, a lot of third-party people were jacked out. And actually, if you go to my channel, you can see there's a guy named Brendan Carpenter. He actually founded the United Utah Party and had the largest, most successful Humanity Forward volunteer organization in the country with Humanity Forward Arizona. They were set to be recognized. So, yeah, there's actually a lot of background of what's going on between myself and Forward Party. And I've already interviewed Brian Mannix on my channel. I had the first interview with him in The Nation. I'm very aware of what Yang Gang is doing at all times, and as you could tell. And I'm excited to meet you. Yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, I told Shane. Shane was on the call on like on the 27th, and he had some notes in the chat room, like little comments, and I agree 100%. That's why I couldn't wait to speak to him.
Cool.
You got to build a community. You got to build a community. And again, I want to emphasize. I can't emphasize this enough because you've been in politics, you've been in organizations where there's a lieutenant. You said sub leadership. Right now, it's a flat organization. It's not a hierarchy of command and control. So when you say, "Oh, you outrank Shane," I don't outrank Shane at all. I was just the guy that set things up, and we're looking for Shane. He's in Queens also to help us build the leadership of New York City. We don't have any leaders right now.
Okay, if I could just respond to that very quick. Okay, I understand what you're saying, and maybe that's true on the ground organizing volunteer level, which actually before they've kept separate, right? But if you look at Matt Shiners, who's actually the interim executive director and his chief of staff during the 2020 presidential campaign, you could see that there was multiple complaints from staff. I don't know if you've looked that up, right? But I'm actually quite aware, right? Besides the sexual harassment claim, besides the dropping of NDAs, which I warned them all about. I said this NDA business is bad stuff. They went forward with it, and then they had to cancel it for the mayoral campaign. He's still in charge. And just knowing the way that Yang works and knowing that how I have not been contacted in this move, even though I've been in third parties for over 25 years and have a lot of achievements, right, with third party. I was the first in the nation that forced the vote, by the way, and I was also Medicare for All March, the only Asian American activist organizer for that march, who was in contact with the Yang Gang, trying to get them on board for that. So, but actually you could see the evidence on my channel. They hung up the phone on me when I invited them to the Medicare for All March. So that was pretty disgusting. So, yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to be as forthright as I can. I have nothing to hide. If I don't know 20 things in a row,
You sound authentic. I appreciate it.
So anyways, let me go back to Shane, and then we'll come back to your question. We're trying to get a sense of community first. First of all, now that the pandemic is waned, I won't say gone, but Shane says let's get together in person, let's have some drinks and get to know each other, and then we'll build that from there. Who's doing what?
Absolutely.
I happen to agree. I live right outside of New York City, in Westchester County. I'll jump in the car, but it's no problem.
Excellent.
And we'll do that, and maybe we can make it in Queens or Manhattan, wherever you guys want.
Are you going to the Yang Gang Diary event? Or did it happen already? Did you go to the Yang Gang Diary event?
I did not.
What about the, actually, I just did an interview with Fahim Hamed, who did the movie County, which I know that the New Leaf Democrats are working on, right?
Okay.
They're working together on taking over the county committee. So I've just did a video on that, and I'm actually deep involved with making that forward, even though, yeah, I'm actually working with, tell Shane that, I need to hear from him. I'm actually trying to put Shane together with, at the end of this month, I have candidates from all over the country, mostly independents, right? Prime for forward party, right? You could see it on my channel. Just go to my channel, type in Unified Platform for 22, right? Or just go down to the playlist. It's right there, right? Near the top, yeah? You're going to see that there's actually a whole bunch of independent candidates who would be, who I actually ask every single one of them if they support UBI. Go check that series out, yeah? All right, so,
Will do.
yeah. So I could use some help on these projects. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
When's the next meeting? Please invite me.
Well, we're going to, we had the first one, 10 days ago. We're trying to make them once a month now. They're more frequent. And then the most important thing is to keep people's energy up. And I mentioned this on a call the other day with the state leaders, is that I can talk to you, I can email you, we can get each other energized.
Hey,
we got to have people something very concrete for people to do. Like
quick question. Did you meet Brian from an American Union? Was he there at the meeting as well?
It was a virtual meeting. This one was virtual meeting. I don't recall the name.
Okay. He was a former legislator. He was in New Hampshire. He actually moved to South Carolina because he knows it's like a high impact state as in terms of like voting order for national campaigns. He's very developed. He's very resourceful. He's an excellent resource for you guys. I know, and he's actually part of the People's Party with me as well. So we've already been trying to work this coalition angle, but certain forces have been keeping us out, and it's really not cool. You know what I mean? But just so you know, you can look up my stuff. I'm very deep in the game, man, and it's very exciting to meet you.
I will do that. I think on your website is, I think, is it the last four letters of your email?
DJElf7.com, real easy. You know what I mean? It's going to have links to all my stuff. You could go check out my my social media, you know what I mean? See the history. And ask Shane about me, yeah? Tell Shane we talked. He'll probably say, oh my God, yeah?
I'll leave you with one thought that you can think about, don't respond to.
Yes.
You have a lot of experience in this area. You think different parties did well, certain things about the Yang organization maybe you didn't like. There's an opportunity for us to build a party, and you and I may not agree on certain things, taking the best of what we've learned in the past and avoiding the mistakes we made in the past, and just building the kind of community we want built. That's all.
I understand that 100%. I admire that speech, by the way. I'm going to tell you something right now that I want you to pay attention to closely to, Mike. Yeah? The thing is that I work with the Republicans, I work with the Democrats, I work with the Libertarians, the Greens, the People's Parties. I'm in all the groups. Ask all the guys. They know about this about me. They already know, okay? I know what everybody's doing. I know how strong they are. I know their personnel. Just like I broke it down for you, I could do that for the People's Party. I could do that for Republicans, Democrats, Justice Democrats. I can do that for everybody, yeah? And the thing of the matter is that right now, the press is not covering anybody on the ground. Remember all that stuff I told you about the Yang Gang, right? Yeah? The People's Party have their own problems now, too. The Libertarians have their own problems now, too. The press is not reporting on any of this. But the people on the ground, we all say the same shit. It's just our so-called leaders that keep us solid off. It's ridiculous, okay? Come to the other meetings with me, right? Yeah? And I'm encouraging people to come to your meetings, too. I'm in both spaces. You will learn both techniques. It's better for you anyways. And I swear to you, there's people like Brian from he's there right now doing it. A lot of these other people are less experienced, man. I've been doing this for 25 years. 25 years working experience, not just I read some books and I thought it was a good idea. Yeah? All right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hey, it's nice to speak with you. Thank you so much.
No, and thanks for the time. Appreciate it. You know how to you have my personal email, so you can get in touch with me anytime.
I've already emailed, right? Shane or New Leaf Democrats. I'm going to email you too. Please email me at djf7@djf7.com. I already asked them with Larry. I have the meeting with Larry Sharp tomorrow. I asked them to be there so we could be there together as a team. I asked them to be there together so we could talk about coalition, how we can work together, and they're not emailing me back, Michael. I'll be honest, right? Everybody wants to be coronated. I'm telling you it's the truth, man. That's how they keep us apart. I don't give a damn.
Here's the good news and bad news. The good news is I'm not in charge of anybody. The bad news is I'm not in charge of anybody. I can't make them respond.
Listen, a lot of people are sympathetic with me. Those people who are sympathetic to me, notice that there's You notice how New York people are missing from this event? That's because they're with me. I swear to you, yeah? Right? Isn't that weird how you're from Westchester, but you're running things? I'm not mad at that. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. But find out about what's going on. I like Shane. He's okay.
I just by happenstance, it's like you walking down the street and someone asking you a favor, you do them a favor, they love you, and I go, have the guy from Queensville. That I don't have any power. I was there when they said we need somebody, a human being, put their hand up to help us organize New York State. I was just there. No one else was there. That's all there was to it. So
that's good. Now let's see how you do. Let's see what you do with this, right? Yeah. You know something.
Let's go think. I know that the center of New York is New York City. One of the things myself and Craig, who lives in Huntington, Long Island,
yes,
we got to get New York City organized. And
I know all the people.
And we need leadership people down there. I mean, they can be leaders. They can.
I will send me an email, and I'll send you the directed videos that show my work and my knowledge in this game, and show me marching on Schumer, show me the 10,000 signatures. I will email you the evidence right there. I'm telling you, right? If there's someone running this, it should be me, honestly. But I'm not mad at you. I like you being in charge, honestly, right? Because the way you think and your openness. We need more people doing it, right? Yeah? But I'm telling you, I should definitely be a part of whatever you guys are doing 100%. I already did the first interview. Yeah.
All right. I love your energy, and I can't wait to...
Talk to Shane, man. Yeah? I'm sure Shane will be very interested that you talk to me. God bless, brother. Thank you. All right, peace.
All right, take care.
Talk to Nell, too. Nell Nieves. Peace.
All right.
This is crazy. I hope People's Party is watching this, right? I hope UPA is watching this. This is really going on in all your spaces, yeah? Y'all need to break out of your zones and go into these other spaces and see what's going on there, yeah? Anyways, so you could see, right? I think there's just a lot of truth dropped. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm going to go check out the chat, see if anybody's in there. Oh, snap. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Wow, the chat blew up. Holy crap. Let me read this. Always had the vision to be involved in such movements. Yo, it really is. Never Ed Lee. Oh, snap. Red Sea Socialist. Chelsea is dry as... Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Never Ed Lee. You're damn right. Yo, you could hear it right there. It's a fact, right? It is Never Ed Lee, right? Even in the Yang Gang, yeah? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Nobody's watching now. Okay. Yang policies. ASAP. It's foreign policy garbage. He needs some help. I'll tell you it's the truth, yeah. Listen, Yang sold out, but the community is powerful, right? You saw that guy. He seems legit, right? That's the type of guy, right? That these people are everywhere, okay? These people, you heard that guy? He sounds good, right? He sounds good to me. Why are you giving up on him, right? Because he's associated with the Ford Party? That's your mistake, right? This guy's perfectly good for this. To me, anyways. Maybe he's not good enough for you. Anyways, yeah. Y'all hilarious. More involved in foreign policy than domestic. Okay, that's nice, yeah. Listen, Yang, I don't even know what he's gonna do. Yang sold out, yeah. He'll say anything. Don't worry about that, Tabrana. Tell him it's the number 7 Ed Lee. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. I'm still watching. All right, cool, man. Well, if you have any questions about what else is going down in this, I could tell y'all. I think that was a very illuminating discussion right there. A lot of things came out. I showed some evidence. Thanks for checking out the show. Yeah.